Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about the Maharashtra government decision to withdraw the general consent to CBI. What is general consent? What is its major implication going to be for the CBI working at various cases in the state? We will discuss about that in detail. So if you have been following the news, there has been a lot of demand for the Sushant Rajput case, for an example, to be heard by CBI, and eventually it went into the CBI, and lot of people from even the industry as well as the political side have been condemning the Maharashtra government over their handling of cases. So it could be the result that finally the Maharashtra has decided to withdraw the general consent. So what it is, we will discuss about this in detail. So let's move forward. Maharashtra government has withdrawn the general consent given to the CBI to probe into cases in the state. So general consent is basically something which is given to the CBI in order to probe into the cases which is under the domain of state government. The CBI is governed by the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act that makes consent of a state government mandatory for conducting investigation in that state. Now this is something like very important which you need to remember, that CBI is governed by the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. In your Lakshmikant, you will read that there is a CVC, also Central Vigilance Commission, which has been given a statutory status as of now. Like earlier it was also started as an executive body, but it is a statutory body right now. CBI is still a executive body which comes under the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. Remember this, under which particular act it is gaining its power from. And there itself, in the act itself, it is like required or mandated that CBI need to get the consent of the state if they want to conduct the investigation there. So that is one of the clauses mentioned in the act itself. Now just for your general knowledge, CVC as well as CBI was recommended by the Santhanam committee. Just remember that. For your, it's mostly for your information, it is not related to the present news, but we believe that you should be able to connect the dot. Then only you will be able to write good answers in your main examination, which is the goal of everything. Now, given that the CBI has jurisdiction only over central government departments and employees, it can investigate a case involving state government employees or a violent crime in a given state only after that state government gives its consent. This particular thing is also called as case-specific consent. So unlike the general consent, it is like if state government provide case-specific consent, then the CBI would have the right to probe into the matter related to the state government employees as well. Then what is the meaning of general consent? So general consent is normally given to help the CBI seamlessly conduct its investigation into cases of corruption against central government employees in the concerned state. So this is basically what the general consent in general mean, that CBI will be getting the general consent by default consent of the state in order to help it to conduct the investigation in the cases of corruption against central government employees in the concerned state. So central government employees are also posted in different states. So the kind of probing that could be needed by the CBI to conduct that comes under the ambit of general consent. Now let's move forward and try to understand the implication of the withdrawal. So it simply means that the CBI officer will lose all power of a police officer as soon as they enter the state, unless state government has allowed them. So now you just imagine that when they reach Maharashtra, CBI officer will not have any power of a police officer within the territory of that state. So that is the major implication of removal of general consent or withdrawal of general consent by the Maharashtra government. The decision means that the CBI will now have to get the consent from the state government for every case it registered in Maharashtra. So this is also something which is like going to be a thing for CBI going forward, that for every case they want to probe into, even for the central employees, they would have to file the request with the state government. So this is the major implication. and why the state government was able to withdraw the consent. So this is also mentioned in the Delhi Police Establishment Act, which in under section 6 mentions that state government can withdraw the general consent accorded. So the possibility of withdrawal is provided within the act itself, and under the section 6 Maharashtra government withdraw the CBI. CBI could still have the power to investigate old cases registered when general consent existed. Now, this is something interesting you need to know. It's not like immediately now they have no jurisdiction over the cases that they were already probing into. So, CBI will keep on having the general consent for the one they have already started working on. Also, the cases registered anywhere else in the country but involving people stationed in a state which have withdrawn consent would allow CBI jurisdiction to extend to these states. Now just understand that there is a correct officer and whose complaint of corruption was filed in, for an example, Madhya Pradesh, and then after moving or we got a transfer to Maharashtra. Now Madhya Pradesh has a general consent and Maharashtra does not. Even then the CBI would be able to reach the person in Maharashtra and would be able to probe into the investigation or into the case, because the general consent or the case was filed in Madhya Pradesh. So that is like the CBI is not like they cannot probe any cases over there, but for a specific central government employee, if the case is filed over there, they would have to seek the the consent of government, state government going forward. So these are the major implications. Now when we are at the topic, let's also try to understand few more details about the CBI. So Central Bureau of Investigation is the premier investigating police agency in India. It functions under the superintendence of Department of Personnel, Ministry of Personal Pension and Public Grievances, Government of India. So this is the one department under which it functions. For investigations of offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act, its superintendence vests with the Central Vigilance Commission. So this is again, I told you that Central Vigilance Commission is also one of the body in India which probe into the cases of corruption. So cases which come specifically under the Prevention of Corruption Act is handled by the CVC. It is also the nodal agency in India which coordinate investigation on behalf of Interpol member country. Now this is something you need to remember, that for Interpol, the agency which represent India is CBI. So that is one thing you need to know. The CBI was established as the Special Police Establishment in 1941 to investigate cases of corruption in the procurement during the Second World War. So what is the historical background behind CBI? So it was established as a special police establishment in 1941 in order to investigate the corruption cases during the procurement of in World War II. Now this particular thing was again muted by the Sanatan Committee, as mentioned earlier, the one which also recommended the formation of CVC. So these are the few things you need to know about CBI. Now how the director of the CBI or the structure of the CBI is constructed. So CBI is headed by the director, who is generally an IPS officer with the rank of Director General of Police or Commissioner of Police. So basically either IC, Police Commissioner or DGP. So these are the two posts the person should have to be eligible to become a director. The director is appointed for a term of 2 years. So what is the tenure for which they are appointed? Generally for the term of 2 years. Now the amended Delhi Police Establishment Act empowers a committee to appoint the director of CBI, and this committee, who is the member of the appointment committee. So it includes Pradhan Mantri, like your Prime Minister is the chairman of the selection committee, then leader of opposition, then Chief Justice of India or Supreme Court judge recommended by Chief Justice. So ideally it should be the Chief Justice of India, but Chief Justice of India could also recommend another Supreme Court judge. So these three are the people who will be there in the selection committee, or what you can say the committee which select the director of the CBI. So these are the few important things that you definitely need to know. Now a homework for you. In your Lakshmikant, go back and revise CVC, Central Vigilance Commission, as well as CBI. Go through their functionality as well. So this way you will be able to brush up your polity concepts as well. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.